Then, folks, pre-season footy is well and truly in the swing of things, and we got a taste of things to come for two sides last night on the watch-along as Collingwood took down Richmond in the AAMI Community Series. In this video, we're going to break things down, the key moments, the 5 main takeaways, the things that'll get you scratching your heads, and the things that'll get you buzzing for the season to start. Before we get stuck in, don't forget to like and subscribe for all things AFL. We've got you covered in 2025. So let's roll into that intro and get stuck in. So the Pies winning this one 21-6, 132, playing 6 goals, 13-49 at Icon Park on a Wednesday night. And Collingwood looked razor sharp from the get-go, slicing through Richmond's defence with handball chains, with short kicks, with that whole ability to go from gear 1 to gear 5 in a blink of an eye, and it was devastating precision. The Tigers did pretty well in the early stages to match the intensity, but Pies' transition game was another level, and at times it felt like the Magpies were just playing in gear 2 and toying with their prey. There was a big switcheroo in the second. Richmond went to a more kicking one-on-one defence type setup, which did kind of help stem the blows for a bit, but that was when Collingwood's halfback, they decided to go to a more handball run and stun type game, and it was just wave upon wave of attack, and Collingwood's efficiency inside 50 was devastating at times. Despite it being a pre-season game and it's hard to read, there was some takeouts for Richmond though. Jacob Bower, I thought, and their second-tier players, their players like 20 to 25, I thought did step up. It was their experienced heads that let them down at times. Nathan Brown giving a stupid free kick away when Richmond had wrestled the ball back. Vlostin did it a few times as well. And the Magpies played at quite a high tempo, aggressive ball movements, and that forward synergy looks like a sneak peek of 2025. It could be devastating. Let's say it wasn't pretty for Richmond, but Richmond learn a lot, and we're going to be using that L word, and so it's probably really laconic on this channel about Richmond, but they will have learned a lot. At times they were really defensive, and they were really kind of trying to stem the blow way too much. They did win their fair share of the ball at times, particularly around clearances, and it was them very kind of like just get it away, panicky moments. Tim Taranto was guilty of this quite a few times, and Jacob Hopper. A lot's going to rely on them too. They've got to be assured heads and control the game, and I feel like Tim Taranto and Hopper have never really fully controlled a game enough. In this team, they're going to have to. Cam McIntosh, he was really industrious for Richmond as well, in and around the ball, finding a lot of it. But this was all about the Pies, and it's okay, people can say they played Richmond, who cares, Pommy? You should care. You should care, because this was very easy at times and a very assured win. So although it's a pre-season game, there'll be definitely a lot to take out for both sides. So let's get into them 5 key takeaways of the game. Number 1, Collingwood's halfback line straight up out of the book of elite. Nick Daicos, Josh Daicos, Dan Houston and IQ Isaac Quaynor running the show when they floated down there. Nick Daicos ended up with 37 touches, 81.3% efficiency, 323 metres gained, 8 tackles and 11 score involvements, and he was absolutely everywhere. Linking up play, helping the halfbacks get towards the midfield, running on and then getting that ball into the forward line. He was a menace on the ball as well, really bringing a defensive game, and he was really throwing himself around at times. An absolute maestro, and everything that Collingwood did, one of the Daicoses was involved in. His brother Josh playing that new halfback role. We know how much of a terrific winger he is. He's one of the best in the league at it. Playing that new role, 27 disposals, 70.4% efficiency, 446 metres gained and 7 score involvements, and really showcasing why that gut running gives them a different dimension. Quite often he was the outlet from a kick-in, and then he would give and go and suddenly get them going. Josh Daicos and Dan Houston were 2 key components of Collingwood's metronome effect of their defence to attack. How it can be slow and it can be patient, and then when it sees that opportunity, it goes. And there was quite a lot of times you saw Josh Daicos particularly just stop going down the left and go back down the right and build again. Very good metronome, and he's becoming quite the playmaker, I think, Josh Daicos. Very underrated. And Dan Houston, their big summer recruit, 22 disposals, 76.2 efficiency, 435 metres gained, and he was a kicking machine, carving Richmond's forward press at times with just precision-like short kicks, and then also overlapping the wings as well and becoming a real danger in forward half defence. Was often just placed just right, which gets them back. And we talked about IQ. Isaac Quainer, don't sleep on him. 19 touches, 89.5% efficiency, 311 metres gained, and 8 intercepts. That was a real big key cornerstone there. He was looking to break up attack and get them shifting back into their attacking sets and rebounding with precision. A real solid outing from their backline, and something that long-term, it looks like they're back from this game to that template that won them the flag. Jacob Bower, despite being starved of quality forward 50 entries, I thought Jacob still managed to have an impact for Richmond. He worked tirelessly, he presented well, he competed in the air and on the deck. And I was watching this game with real intrigue with how their forward line would work without Tommy Lynch. I think when he returns, that gives Jacob a lot more freedom and it gives them a proper target. At times, they tried different things. Ryan Sampson, it didn't quite work. This is going to be a real key. I think Tom Lynch is very much needed for that forward line. He kind of coheses them together. But Jacob, 7 pressure acts, which I thought were really important. He didn't let it fly out there. 3 marks inside 50, 2 goals. He did make the most of his opportunities and he worked incredibly hard for them. He never gave up. So I think long-term, Jacob's going to be a real one to watch for me. I really enjoyed his cut, his jib, how hard he worked for this, particularly leading up the ground, trying to always be an option and always trying to make 50-50 contests, trying to compete in the air when at times these were just bombs into nothing. So he really stood out for me, and he's going to be something that's going to give a bit of a smile on the faces, particularly when Layla comes back and that entries get a little bit more shallow, more penetrating in there. He definitely needs that. Lipinski is another one that many people look at, and I think with their high-octane game style, playing the wings solely, pinch hitting, floating through the middle, his run and spread and his accumulation is really imperative. And their movement off the halfback just makes it a joy to be a winger. And his ability to see what Josh Daicos or Dan Houston were doing as they overlapped and slot into them holes and free himself up really paid dividends. 37 touches, 583 metres gained, and 7 ground balls run as well. When the ball did hit the deck from them contests as they looked to go for an outlet, he was constant menace there. His ability to link up between backline and midfield, really strong. His ability to always be that conduit, free himself up, really strong. And he was a big part of their dominant performance. And this is a sign of things to come for me. I think the amount of players Collingwood float through them outside channels, all very good users, all very astute players. Side bottom on the other flank as well was incredible as well. They're dangerous. They're dangerous. And although it was Richmond, I'll keep saying that, you've only got to look at the execution. The execution was top tier. Richmond's second tier players have to stand up. And although Richmond got battered here, it wasn't the young brigade's fault. It was the senior heads that continued cost them in key moments. Vlostin and Broad both gave away costly free kicks. And that was a worry for me, a little bit of a red flag to see them kind of get frustrated. Towards the end of the game, Jacob Hopper kicked a goal, and to see him celebrate when no one came to celebrate with him, and he tried to hide it and do that, to me, that's just not the attitude that I want to see from Richmond. I want to see them dig down and dig deep. And for me, their second age of players, that 21 to 25, they did do that. Jack Ross, solid as a rock, 24 touches, 9 ground balls won, 5 tackles, 5 score involvements. I thought he worked tirelessly. And these are the players that are going to protect your Laylas, your Smileys when they come into this team. They've got to step up. Tom Brown down at halfback, I really like this experiment. 287 metres gained, 17 disposals, worked really hard in transition and kind of was let down at times by the people ahead of him. But I really liked how encouraging he was. They've lost Liam Baker, and Tom Brown isn't Liam Baker, that's obvious. But working hard, and that's what you're looking for, that application. I want to give a shout out to Jacob Blight as well. He got a lesson early from Mihocek and Membrey. They both lost him in the contest. But I thought he came back well, ending up winning 50% of his one-on-ones, having 7 marks, 7 1%ers. I thought used the ball well, and I really liked his application. I really liked the fact that he was getting absolutely battered, but his attitude made me smile. It was, I'm here, I'm going to keep on going. And that gets you out of the quagmire quicker than being a flash Harry. So I really enjoyed what Jacob Blight did as well. There's hope in this Richmond young crop. It's not going to be something that's fixed overnight. It's not going to be a 2-year job, but it's about making them other sides be difficult and keep it competitive. So I really enjoyed what I saw. And then three-pronged attack. We've talked about 3 blokes down the back that are really doing it hard. Membrey, I thought, was really, really causing headaches. And seeing Membrey, Mihocek and McStay almost look like they've played together forever was a worry. Tim Membrey constantly working hard up the ground, creating space for his smalls, creating space for Dan McStay, Mihocek to run into. Membrey ended up with 4 goals, 7 score involvements, and working hard to link up with midfield to forward really, really was a delight. That experience is a killer for defence and is a real impressive forward outfit. Mihocek, as usual, selfless, running them dummy leads, constantly making one-on-one contests, constantly looking to bring the ball ground, making it hard. 4 goals for him as well. And Dan McStay, very important player. I feel like he brings it all together. I feel like he is a good homemade butter on a sandwich. He brings it all together. 2 goals, 2 marks inside 50. And again, 3 ground ball one. Some constant pressure acts. A key structure player. And that is really impressive. The interplay between these 3 complemented each other perfectly. All 3 of them different skill sets together, very versatile, and it's going to be one to really watch later. So what did we learn then? Collingwood's transition game is lethal. Watch out. Richmond's second-tier players and the youngsters, they've got promise. The senior players have to step up and protect them though. But this is the right way. They've got to deal with these lessons, and it's going to be a long, hard season, but hopefully it pays you back in 3 years. The Pies, the halfback setup, cheat code. Let's be honest. 2 Daicoses, Houston, IQ, Darcy Moore. It's gross. Tigers definitely need Tom Lynch there in the forward line, but Boa, Steely Green, these players, they worked hard, so there is hope. And the trio of M's, Triple M up forward, Mihocek, Membrey and McStay, it's going to be a nightmare. That's the pre-season wrap-up for this game. It's going to be a big warm-up. Both these sides now look towards the real stuff that happens in a week's time. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Who impressed you the most? I'll see you next time. Bomb out.
Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it